I'm Bill Burch. I'm a retired elder in the Church of the Nazarene, retired district superintendent and pastor. The camp was a very significant place in my life, as I think it is in the life of Jesus Christ. I'm reminded of Dr. S.D. Gordon, who tells an imaginary time in his life when Jesus returned back from his mission here on earth and was gathered around all of the angels and was telling about his mission to that little planet down there called the earth. And by his coming down and dying on the cross, he made possible for everyone on that planet to be saved and get to heaven. One of the angels spoke up and said, "But Master, must they know about you before they can be saved?" He said, "Yes, they must." He said, "Do they know?" He said, "Not yet." But he said, "While I was there, I told a few, and they are in turn to tell others." Someone from the back spoke up and said, "But Master, suppose those few that you told, suppose they fail to do that." And it is said in the imaginary story that Jesus bowed his head and said, "I have no other plan." That tells us the purpose of Camp Pine Rock. It is part of that great plan of telling the good news about Jesus Christ. And if we fail to do that, he does not have another plan. The camp meant and means a lot to me. I was raised in camp atmosphere in New Mexico, where I was born and raised. We had a camp meeting there. And when I moved to Arizona, I was thrilled to see that we had one of the leading campgrounds in the United States in effectiveness. And so it is a time of personal spiritual renewal and divine encounter for me personally. Every camp, I received brand new insight into my responsibility as one of God's servants and messengers. And it is very significant for me, for my family, for my 4 children. Well, the fun, we'd spend all afternoon talking about that, the kind of jokes and things that take place. But the most serious thing is the time when I received a reconfirmation of my call to preach. I was very young when I heard the voice of Jesus saying that I want you to be a preacher. And I grew up on the New Mexico campground, and then when I came here as district pastor, district superintendent, I attended this camp, and it has been so significant in helping me to make some of the most major decisions of all of my life in the ministry, the influence of that camp. Well, one of the significant things is the atmosphere among all of the people that are there. There are people of joy and happiness and fun, a good atmosphere in which to preach the glorious truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I have watched that operate at different levels with the children, the teens, the young adults, the adults, as we have listened to the voice of the Holy Spirit talking and making a difference in their response. The response in the seats, their response kneeling at the altars with other people kneeling around them, praying with them, counseling, laughing with them, where they find the glad, wonderful joy of Jesus Christ. Well, I think to use the words of Jesus, if they fail, I have no other plan. I think there is a significant mandate that is resting upon that camp, that we're to continue and even increase what we're doing. It's making a difference in lives from the time the children come to camp, through the teen years in youth camp, through the retreats, and then the great camp meetings that are significant. I think the future is very, very bright, but very, very demanding. And I think I hear Jesus say, if they fail to do that, I have no other plan.